What if the biggest sign that she likes you is the one thing she never actually says? No confession, no dramatic text, no obvious flirting, just a series of small moments that seem meaningless until you connect them. The truth is, many women don't reveal their feelings through words first. They reveal them through consistent behavior. And once you understand these hidden psychological signs, you'll start noticing things that most men completely overlook. Today, we're uncovering three powerful female psychology signs that silently reveal what she may never have the courage to say out loud. And trust me, the third sign changes everything. Have you ever left a conversation wondering, was she just being nice? Or did I completely miss something? You're not alone. One of the biggest mistakes people make is expecting attraction to look obvious. In reality, emotions are often subtle, especially when someone doesn't want to risk rejection. Psychology tells us that people don't always communicate feelings directly. Instead, they reveal them through repeated patterns of attention, comfort, and emotional investment. That's why today's signs aren't based on one smile, one compliment, or one text message. They're based on behaviors that become difficult to fake over time. Of course, every person is different. No single behavior guarantees romantic interest. But when these signs appear together consistently, they often reveal far more than words ever could. Let's start with the first one. Sign number one. She notices the small things everyone else misses. Imagine this. You get a haircut. Most people don't notice. She does. You mention your favorite coffee once. A week later, she remembers. You casually tell her you're nervous about an interview. Days later, she asks, "So, how did it go?" That isn't just good memory. It's selective attention. Psychologically, people naturally pay closer attention to those who matter emotionally. Their brain assigns greater importance to details connected to that person. Think about your own life. Can you remember what a random stranger wore yesterday? Probably not. But you can probably remember something small about someone you genuinely care about. That's because emotion strengthens attention, and attention strengthens memory. Now, notice something even more interesting. She doesn't only remember facts. She remembers feelings. She notices when your mood changes. She senses when something feels different. Even before you mention it, you might say, "I'm fine," but she looks at you and replies, "You don't seem like yourself today." That's emotional observation, and it rarely happens without genuine interest. People don't spend mental energy tracking someone who means nothing to them. They simply don't. When someone consistently notices the little things, they're often paying attention for a reason. Sign number two, she makes you feel included in her world. Here's something fascinating about human psychology. When people begin caring about someone, they slowly stop separating my life from your life. Instead, the language changes. Maybe she sends you a picture of something funny during her lunch break. Maybe she asks your opinion before making a small decision. Maybe she tells you about something that happened during her day, even when it isn't important. At first glance, these moments seem ordinary, but together, they create something psychologists often call emotional inclusion. She's inviting you into experiences that don't require your presence, but she wants your involvement anyway. Think about this. Nobody needs to send a picture of their coffee. Nobody has to tell you about a funny conversation at work. Those moments aren't necessary, they're intentional. She's giving you access to her everyday life. And everyday life is where emotional closeness quietly grows. Imagine two people. One only talks when there's important news. The other shares random little moments throughout the week. Who feels emotionally closer? Almost always the second, because familiarity creates connection. Here's another subtle clue. She starts using words like, "we should," "you'd love this," "we have to try that someday." Notice the shift. Without realizing it, she's beginning to imagine future moments that naturally include you. Not because she's making grand romantic plans, because your presence has started feeling normal, comfortable, expected. That's a powerful psychological transition. So far, we've explored two signs, but the final sign is the one most people completely overlook. It isn't about texting, it isn't about compliments, it's about silence. And strangely enough, silence often reveals feelings better than conversation ever can. Let's look at the final sign. Sign number three, she's comfortable sharing quiet moments with you. Most people assume connection only happens during exciting conversations, but psychology tells us something different. Real emotional comfort often appears when nothing is happening. Imagine sitting together. Neither of you is talking, nobody feels awkward, nobody rushes to fill the silence. Instead, you simply enjoy being there. This is called comfortable silence, and it's surprisingly meaningful. Why? Because silence removes performance. There are no clever jokes, no interesting stories, no impressive conversations, just presence. When someone genuinely enjoys your company, they don't always need constant entertainment. Your presence alone becomes enough. Think about close family members or lifelong friends. You can sit in the same room for 20 minutes without speaking, and it feels perfectly normal. That's emotional safety. Now imagine that same feeling developing with someone new. She doesn't constantly check her phone. She doesn't seem eager to leave. She isn't searching for another conversation topic. She's simply relaxed. That's difficult to fake because our bodies naturally become restless around people who make us uncomfortable. When someone feels emotionally secure, their body slows down, their breathing relaxes, their attention stays present, they stop performing and start being themselves. Here's a simple example. You both finish your coffee. The conversation fades. Instead of saying, "Well, I should probably go," she smiles, looks around, and stays. Not because she has nowhere else to be, because leaving doesn't feel urgent. Moments like these rarely stand out while they're happening, but looking back, they often reveal exactly how someone truly felt. Now step back and connect all three signs. She notices details most people forget. She gradually includes you in the ordinary parts of her life, and she feels completely comfortable sharing silence with you. Notice what's missing. There are no dramatic confessions, no movie-style love speeches, no impossible romantic gestures. Instead, there are consistent emotional investments, and that's how real feelings usually develop, quietly, naturally, repeatedly. Many men spend months waiting for obvious proof, a direct confession, a clear message, a perfect sign, but emotions rarely arrive wrapped in certainty. Instead, they appear in tiny decisions repeated over time. She remembers, she includes you, she stays. None of those actions demand attention on their own. Together, they tell a much bigger story. The real question isn't, did she flirt with me today? The better question is, has she consistently made space for me in her thoughts and in her life? Because that's where genuine emotional connection begins, not in dramatic moments, but in ordinary ones repeated again and again. The next time you're wondering how someone truly feels, don't listen only to their words. Watch their patterns. Does she remember the little things? Does she naturally bring you into her everyday life? Can the two of you simply enjoy being together without needing constant conversation? If the answer is yes, you may already have your answer. Because people don't accidentally invest attention, time, and emotional comfort over and over again. Those choices reveal priorities, and priorities reveal feelings. Remember, no single sign guarantees attraction. Context always matters. Healthy relationships are built through honest communication and mutual respect. But sometimes, the strongest emotions are never spoken. They're quietly revealed in the smallest moments, the moments most people never notice. If you enjoyed this video and want to discover more hidden insights into female psychology and human behavior, make sure to subscribe and turn on notifications so you never miss a new upload. Now, we'd love to hear from you. Which of these three signs surprised you the most? Share your thoughts or experiences in the comments below. If you found this video valuable, leave a like and share it with someone who might enjoy it too. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next video.